Liberty Flames and NC State Wolfpack look to further solidify a playoff spot tonight as a pair of SELC lacrosse programs collide. NCAA midfield transfer Brent Bernardo, coming off a 5-goal outing against the 5th-ranked Spartans, will look to continue his offensive hot streak against a physical and senior-heavy Wolfpack team. Can Kevin Dunaway and his defense stop the Flame train, or will All-American Ryan Miller and his Flames continue to burn up the SELC? We'll find out when the clock strikes 12.
Hello, Liberty Lacrosse fans, and welcome to East Campus Fields for tonight's matchup between the Liberty Flames and the NC State Wolfpack. Dave, we got a couple of teams coming in here, SELC rivals, and the Flames currently right now the top team in the Northwest Division of the SELC.
Well, the Northwest Division battle is really an important one, as Liberty and Virginia Tech are really the top 2 ranked teams in the region, and will ultimately battle it out for the SELC's automatic qualifying bid to the MCLA tournament, with 2 teams from the southern region, with Florida State and UCF really being favored right there. But obviously this game is a pivotal one. North Carolina State, a very solid SELC opponent. When you look at the scheme of the MCLA, this game really just puts into picture what makes this league so great. It's the largest collegiate lacrosse league in the nation. The SELC is the largest conference in it, and it just really has a variety of different teams. You have teams like NC State and New Hampshire and Boston College, who used to have NCAA lacrosse programs but ultimately had to fold because of Title IX and other reasons, and found a really solid home here in the MCLA. Then you have schools like Tennessee Wesleyan and Reinhardt and Westminster, NAIA institutions who are able to give scholarships. NAIA does not sponsor varsity lacrosse, so those teams have a home here in the MCLA. And then ultimately there are just so many great programs, pure club sports programs such as Liberty, University of Colorado, Colorado State, teams that really do embody lacrosse culture within their campus, ultimately really run their programs as pure as a collegiate sports program can be. And these student athletes are just fantastic. Their coaches work so hard, the players work so hard, and they chase a very, very coveted national championship in the MCLA in both Division I and Division II.
Well, tonight we have a very special event, the blackout game for the Liberty Flames. Could you see this perhaps spreading throughout the MCLA?
Oh, there's no question about it, Red. I mean, there are so many great events throughout the MCLA season. The Pac-12 shootout early on. Usually there are other events within Arizona and California where a lot of the stronger teams out west are able to convene and play a few neutral site games. But as far as the East Coast is concerned, this blackout game that Liberty University has instituted is really special, because ultimately Liberty, being a new team to Division I, they have an opportunity to really build a lot of hype around this and maybe bring in an opponent not from the SELC in future years, and ultimately to get a big crowd under the lights, face off at midnight, and to have a road team wearing a white jersey, pretty rare circumstance. I'm excited for this. It's going to be great.
Well, we take a look at the Wolfpack tonight. One player for them that's really going to be of importance is Bill Nifong.
Yeah, Nifong is a senior attackman. He is currently leading the team in points, and for the most part, Nifong's success is really going to be predicated about the way that his glue midfielder, number 1, Nicholas Skula, can get him the ball.
As we take a look at the Liberty Flames, Ryan Miller, an All-American last year at the Division II level, he's been putting up over 4 points per game.
First team All-American, first team All-Conference, Conference Rookie of the Year, National Rookie of the Year as far as I'm concerned. Unbelievable player. Doesn't exactly have that huge physical presence, but he's so incredibly athletic, an undersized guy. You won't see him get hit very much because he's so fast and quick. He just doesn't put himself in those sorts of positions. He moves the ball well. He's an unbelievable finisher and just a really special player who I think draws a lot of comparisons to the great Mikey Powell.
Well, don't go anywhere. Flames and Wolfpack coming up next. Campus Fields. The NC State Wolfpack winning the draw and already coming in on the attack. Cole Deaver with it now at the far side of the field, dropping it back out top, getting to it there. Devin Peters looks to run it down low. And one thing I was talking to the coaching staff earlier, Dave, is it said, we've got a big, burly defensive group, and we really, really want to be the first team so far to perhaps slow down the offense of the Flames this year.
Well, winning the opening faceoff is obviously a great way to do that. Get the first possession, give your defense a rest for a long night, but ultimately Liberty forces a turnover here and has an opportunity to work their magic. Good ride by NC State to get the ball back.
Picked right back off. Peters holding on to it now, looks to slow things up in the offensive zone. If you take a look at the Wolfpack here offensively, a couple guys, and probably the only two guys that really have eye-popping numbers, Nathan Poulos, like you said, and the previously mentioned Bill Nifong.
Yeah, the two of them really have to work together in order to generate success for North Carolina State. Nathan Poulos, the glue midfielder, has 10 goals and 3 assists on the year, and ultimately Nifong, who ultimately really is able to score off of what Poulos creates, has 11 goals and 7 assists to lead the team with 18 points.
Nice effort there by Ethan Kamholtz. Possession of the ball now in Liberty's favor. Sent out into midfield. Thomas able to get to it. Turned over momentarily, and now back the other way come the Flames. Brett Bernardo holding on, cutting in towards the goal. A shot stopped. Rebound comes out. And that was quickly covered by Brady Edwards.
Great save by Edwards there. Brett Bernardo, an unbelievable left-handed shooter, doing what he does best. A Division I transfer from Marist, who has experience at the NCAA level. Watch out for him and Chad Moore, number 99, a transfer from Marist. Mercer.
Peters with it. Throwing it back out top. Here is Poulos holding on. Brings it around to the near side. Now offensively, is NC State more a team that's just going to cycle the ball around, or they like to isolate perhaps the midfielder and go one-on-one and dodge?
I think ultimately they're going to have to move the ball around a little bit. They're going to have to get some skip passes in there in order to generate success. That's how you get the good matchups such as this one, to dodge against the short stick and maybe get a shot on Cage.
Poulos turns it over. Coming after and getting to its Briggs. Now it's sent ahead, and here comes Moore. Through midfield with some speed. Moore holding on, sends it across. Tobias with a drive, scores! Tobias on the rush, picks the top left corner, and the Flames lead 1-0.
And Rhett, that's really as beautiful as a transition goal gets. North Carolina State was possessing early on, taking some air out of the Liberty tires. Liberty able to force a turnover on defense, get it to Chad Moore, who wheels it upfield, finds the open man Tobias coming in from the midfield, and a high blazer into the top corner to put the Flames up 1-0.
Charles Fianco, face-off specialist out, facing off against Cole Deaver. You know, that's one thing that I'm sure fans at home would love to perhaps know the nuances of, is the face-off. Why do players get waved out?
Well, you know, the face-off is probably one of the most important factors of the games, and there's a lot of different things that could cause the ref to cause a false start and give the possession to another team. Early movement, illegal hand placement. There's a lot of different things that could get a face-off man thrown out, and with the rule changes, it's very interesting. Normally, a face-off specialist, a FOGO, gets on and off the field whether he wins or loses. If you do a false start, you actually have to stay on the field as a defensive midfielder, as a face-off midfielder. Could create a good matchup for the other team.
Wolfpack with the ball. Stick knocked out of the hands, comes out into the midfield area. Lots of hacking and chopping. Still free, and now we've got a flag on the play. Looks like the Flames are going to have their first penalty of the day. Craig Darling looks to be the culprit here.
Obviously, the fans are getting into it. A very, very competitive game. Looks like Nate.
Chris Armstrong, actually, the man going into the penalty box, number 4 for Liberty.
A hard and aggressive ride, Chris Armstrong. Looks like he came over the midfield line and put a hit on a North Carolina State player. Awesome opportunity for the Wolfpack now to tie things up with an extra man situation.
Will be a 1-minute infraction sent to the far side. Pulos with it, cycling it down low. Back around, Berger. It's Pulos sending it deep. Berger with it, looking in front, found a man. Naifong drops it out top, a shot stopped off a body. Another drive stopped by Cam Holtz.
Ethan Kamholtz is one freak of a goaltender. Unbelievable stopper, great out of the cage, and looks how he sparks transition.
Pass across to Bias. Oh, he just got his stick on his stick at the last moment, and the ball just went over the goal.
Great check there by Kevin Dunway, defenseman from North Carolina State, to get in the way of Kurt Tobias. Could have been another very pivotal transition goal by the Liberty Flames.
Well, a little bit of a weather update here. It wasn't supposed to start raining until 4 a.m., but it looks like it's come here about 4 hours early as the rain starts to fall here from the skies of Liberty. And now we're going to introduce the third member of our team. We'll send it down to field level with Jake Johnston.
Yeah, thanks, Fred. I'm out here in the rain, surviving the rain so far, not too bad. But as you notice, this is the blackout game, like you said earlier, and the Flames are wearing these black jerseys tonight. They got special permission to wear these black jerseys. They can only wear them once a year, but they're going to pull them out for the midnight game. They do it this year. Hopefully, they'll do it again next year. And luckily for you, Red, they do have the white numerals, so you'll be able to see the numerals from where you're sitting up there in the press box.
Is there any word on black helmets?
They're trying to get black helmets. Didn't happen this year, but they're trying to get them next year. So they're gonna fight that fight next year.
I know, we gotta get the black shoes, the black socks, the black helmets. So I'm just teasing. It looks
Top
great
to
though.
bottom.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, Liberty does have that apparel deal with Nike. They signed an equipment deal for next year with the Warrior, New Balance, and Brine teams. So we'll see how they're able to facilitate things and, you know, get them maybe in some better threads next year. But
that's a good note.
They look great out there. I love these black jerseys.
It gets a little bit of a Johnny Cash look, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you gotta love the white numerals too. It's
yeah,
it's not a joke.
Definitely for us.
Have to see
yeah,
the numbers.
You're right.
It's been a problem in MCLA tournaments past, I assure you.
Originally, I think they were just supposed to have red outlining and no white lettering, which would have been bad. Out top, cutting in on goal, a shot by Bernardo scores.
And it was only a matter of time before Brett Bernardo was going to get on the board in this one. Obviously missed an opportunity a little bit earlier. The D1 transfer from Marist University gets his opportunity right in front of the cage and puts it past the keeper. Isolation, dodges through 3 men, and you could really see there that Brady Edwards, the North Carolina State goalie, was not happy to let that one go. Might have gotten a piece of it before it crossed the goal line.
False start there on Fianco. NC State with the ball once again. It's sent down low. Jeff Williams with it, drops it back. Peters holding on to it, finds the near side of the field. Brian Kieber, the York, Pennsylvania native, holding on to it. As we said, Wolfpack here liking to slow things down. Duncan back out top. Kieber up the far side of the field for Jeff Williams. Williams holding on to it. Now it comes back out top, a dodge. And the Flames defensive zone coverage here doing pretty well. Back behind the goal, Peters.
Obviously, this is the real optimal time for North Carolina State to get on the board, cut the lead within 1, and not allow Liberty to get away with the 3-goal lead and build momentum from there.
Kyle Golden able to dig up the ground ball. Now Cam Holtz loves to run out of his cage, sending it ahead right into the pocket there of Bryce Marakovich.
In the preseason, Coach McQuillan told me that Marakovich, Moore, and Bernardo were arguably the 3 best midfielders in the entire MCLA. 3 guys who could really play together, have youth, have a lot of good experience previously before Liberty. They're all great 2-way middies who know how to score, know how to work things in transition. Really a dynamic group to watch play together.
Miller sends it down low. Armstrong to Bias. Back to Moore. Flames here looking for a crack in the defense. Here comes Bernardo holding on, a bit of a Marakovic rather, now sending it across. Moore can hold on to it. Upended there was Bernardo, and now he'll retreat back into midfield.
Good defense by John Hughley, the LSM for North Carolina State, getting out on the ground ball, getting checks on his hands, and really keeping the Flames offense operating on the outside.
Bernardo loves to draw the defender out. Now here he comes, running in with it. Was taken wide, still holding on to the ball, protecting it nicely. Carries out in front, back behind the goal. Quick pass, off a stick, shot, off a body, still free, getting to it more. And now trying to dig it up here in a battle is Armstrong. Bernardo knocked out of bounds, and the ball will go in possession of Liberty.
Loose ball push there on John Hughley, playing over aggressive, or excuse me, that was Jay Hughley, who pushed the player out of bounds. But unbelievable play there by Marakovic, as well as Tobias. Tobias really a quarterback behind the net, found more in front, they just couldn't convert.
Miller walks out in front, scores. Yellow flag thrown on the play, but Kyle Miller gets his first of the night.
Ryan Miller probably caught a slash at that point when he was kind of extending above GLE, threw a fake pass, completely threw the defense off guard, was able to sneak in and come in one-on-one. Again, not a huge physical presence, but so fast, so crafty with the stick, such good field awareness. He could really maneuver his way untouched around that crease area of the goal and finish every time. That is the 30th goal of the season for Ryan Miller.
Fanko in, waved out of the draw his last two attempts. Ball still free. Zampano trying to dig it up. Now it gets back to him, and here he comes, the captain of the Flames, carrying it in. Long stick midfielder, cuts across the box. Now he sends it here to the near side for Ryan Miller. In the SCLC, Dave, how many teams can compete with Liberty offensively?
You know, it's really hard to say. I think that Florida State has a very strong offense. UCF also has a bunch of NCAA transfers that gets them going on the offensive side. I mean, Virginia Tech ultimately has become a more defensive team since they graduated Matt Gianelli. So really just those, you know, between Virginia Tech and Liberty, I think that will be a Virginia Tech defensive battle against the Liberty offense. And then as far as who else in the conference has good offense, it really comes down to those other two favorites in the FSU Seminoles and the UCF Knights.
Nice hit there by Haywood. He holds on to it now. One thing I find about Liberty that I don't see from many other teams that, you know, visit here Liberty's campus is the fact that it seems like the Flames can either beat you in the midfield, they can beat you from behind the net and roll back in the front, so on and so forth, where a lot of teams perhaps rely on a guy behind the goal that rolls out in front of them. They've got a, you know, a spectacular midfielder that's great at dodging and coming in on goal.
Well, that's the McQuillan, you know, family for you. They're blue collar, they're versatile. You know, maybe a lot of their success will be predicated on a really high, powerful offense. But you know, Mark McQuillan, the former Canadian Army general, you know, he takes his role as defensive coordinator very seriously, so they'll be strong there. And you know, they also work with the special teams to be good in transition. So you know, really a complete lacrosse team is Liberty University, no doubt about it.
Nice spin by Haywood, still holding on to it, sends it towards the goal, a shot. Oh, and that just missed Armstrong right in on net.
Unbelievable pass by Haywood. Haywood seeing some more limited playing time this year with the transfers of Bernardo and Moore. Haywood was a real star last year, scored the game-tying and game-winning goal against North Dakota State in the first round of the MCLA tournament. He still gets opportunities where he does. Coach McQuillan relies a lot on him to be that extra spark instead of maybe that main M1 guy. But you see the way that he works transition there, eyes up, makes a nice pass in front of the cage. Number 21 is destined to get a point or two tonight.
Lozada holding on to it, back for Haywood. Coming in, makes his move, drops it back behind the goal. Armstrong pass in front, Tobias couldn't get the shot off.
Unbelievable defense once again by Kevin Dunaway. Behind on the cut, but ultimately gets his stick there as the pass comes through and denies Liberty a scoring opportunity.
Played ahead, Jay Hughes. Comes across midfield, gets it to Peters. Peters gets by one, cutting in. Peters, shot, stopped. Cam holds another shot up and over the goal.
Oh, and Naifang's gonna wish he had that one back. Cam Holtz lets the rebounds go high. Naifong picks it up out of the air, has pressure on him, and just puts it high over the crossbar.
Nice roll pass in front, scores, Naifong.
And he redeems himself that quickly, right on cue, Rhett. Ultimately, Liberty just kind of getting caught in transition off the loose ball, or was unable to get back on Z and correct things. Naifong wanted that goal, made a nice off-ball cut, and was able to finish on his second opportunity.
His 12th goal of the year brings NC State back to within 2. 4:26 here left in the first. As once again, Fianco coming out facing off against Carson Creamer. Fianco coming in with it with some speed, drops it over. Tobias has to pick up the bouncing ball. Dropped off, back out top to Tobias.
And Charles Fianco's a guy who's definitely going to be working hard tonight. A spectacular player last year in the MCLA tournament, really owned his top spot as the face-off specialist. Nice to see him win one to himself there and get Liberty a solid possession and really have an opportunity to operate with this 3-1 lead and run their offense a little bit more smoothly.
Miller to Moore. Moore holds on, sends it across. Bernardo looks to cut in, still with it, takes a couple of hacks, plays it behind the goal. That's a errant pass, and now we'll be in possession of the Wolfpack.
Well, if you were going to give out a Player of the Game award for North Carolina State, it would have to be Kevin Dunaway. He's been fantastic. He's been making great trail checks, getting on the hands of his attackers, making it difficult for Liberty to pull away right here in this first quarter.
Edwards holds on to it, looking for an outlet pass. Finds his way back to Kieber. Feeds it ahead. Now the Wolfpack looking to set up here in the offensive zone. Peters with it. Devin Peters, 5 goals on the year, 2 assists for 7 points. David Wellen holding on, drops it over. Now it finds its way back to Peters at the far side. He seems to be the quarterback here in the offensive zone at times. Jeff Williams looking to bring it in front, guarded there nicely. Pass across, a shot, scores. Austin Duffy with the goal.
Good possession by North Carolina State. Jeff Williams on the wing, keeps his head up, finds the diagonal to Austin Duffy, and Austin Duffy puts a high howitzer past Clam Holtz. And a 1-goal game. Take a look at the replay once again. You see Williams drive that corner, makes a nice drop-off pass to Austin Duffy, gets it into the right hand on the far side. And again, a just really well-placed high shot that gets past Clam Holtz. 3-2 Liberty, solid goal for North Carolina State to crawl one step closer to tying.
Ball picked up, Cole Deaver sends it across. 3-2 now the score in favor of Liberty. An errant pass finds its way out of bounds, and now the Flames will have possession.
And that's one that John Huey, the LSM, is really going to want back. North Carolina State has been doing a good job of really limiting Fianco at the face-off X. So for NC State to come away with a win there and have Huey throw the ball out of bounds on an uncontested pass, a little bit of frustration as Liberty is going to have an opportunity to possess here in the final 2 minutes of the first quarter.
Miller holding on to it, cuts in. Still wheeling with it. He's like a water bug out there. Hard to get a location on him. Now he cuts in, a bounce pass. Moore unable to get the shot off. Edwards almost sends it to his goal, and he does. Wow.
Well, in a situation like that, the goal should be credited to whoever the in-home man is on Liberty's roster, the guy that must take a penalty in the fact under the situation that a coach gets an infraction. But really interesting set there. Ryan Miller was dancing around like a water bug, like you said, got matched up with the short stick defenseman Michael Mastriani. Ball got checked down in front as Chad Moore was trying to get it. Miscommunication there between Kevin Dunaway and the goalkeeper, Bray Edwards. And it looked like Dunaway just tried to control the ball better for Edwards. Got a wrong piece of the stick, and the ball trickles past the line. Really frustrating goal there for NC State.
Waved out of the face-off dot was Tommy Melching. Now the Flames with possession. Lozada out on the field. Cutting in, Lozada still holding on. Now he lets up, sends it behind the goal for Armstrong.
Lozada, a really powerful transition midfielder for Liberty out of Mepham, Long Island, and Merrick. really headstrong player, loves to dodge, loves to carry the ball, and at the same time knows when to give it up and let his offensive players do what they're meant to do in their main sets.
Chad Moore with it now, as you said, an NCAA transfer midfielder, dropping it over. Haywood. Pass to the near side. Armstrong looking to come out in front. Now he looks for the pass. Moore, shot, that went wide. Possession still here in favor of LU. Tobias will bring it in.
Nice quarterback play there by Chris Armstrong. Moore did a good job of cutting up top. Shot was just a little bit off. You know, if there's one question I could ask Chad Moore, obviously happy to be here at Liberty transferring off of Mercer, but what about the year that Mercer had in basketball, beating Duke in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, that's right. There you go. Flames still with it. Tobias. One thing I found interesting is how MCLA and the NCAA really kind of your top-end teams, the gap isn't that big between them.
Oh, really? There's no question about it. There are NCAA Division II and Division III teams who, if they played the best that the MCLA had to offer, whether if it was within MCLA's Division I or Division II, the inter-squad scrimmages happen all the time between the two leagues, and more often than not, MCLA teams in well-matched situations really can win games. Again, these lacrosse programs exist just because Title IX does not allow the institutions to have NCAA or varsity lacrosse, and ultimately, the sport has grown at such a rapid pace, and the MCLA is such a well-run institution off of its days in the late 90s with the USLIA that this is just a great entity of collegiate sports, maybe the most special that doesn't involve the NCAA.
A beautiful play there, a pass in front. And NC State with another goal, getting it, I believe, Jeff Williams.
I believe Nifong was the cutter, as Williams was the distributor there. And that's one of the things that will get Ethan Kamholtz into trouble. He likes to come out of his net a lot. As you see, it was Williams who was, oh no, excuse me, it was actually Nathan Poulos as an inverted midfielder who was inverting the corner there. Kamholtz came out to put a hit on him. Ultimately, Poulos was able to find Nifong open the middle, who had a gaping open net for the goal.
I don't see that very often with Kamholtz. He's usually, his risks are well calculated, so on and so forth, but there he caught out a goal.
Yep.
Here comes Fianco, pass across to Bias, cutting in. Quick pass, Armstrong looked to let it go on the turnaround shot. Tobias, another pass, that's out of the reach. Driving back for it, and that's gonna do it here for the first quarter. 4-3 the score in favor of the Liberty Flames.
Really good first half. Love the way that Liberty operated in transition. NC State not going away.
Don't go anywhere. Second quarter coming up on LFSN.
With Liberty University, more than 12,000 online students graduate each year with the same competitive degree that students on our resident campus earn. And because we're a nonprofit university, Liberty invests back into you and your future. Unlike other popular online schools who invest in the pockets of their shareholders. Call us today to begin earning your degree.
Everybody just was going out of their way to make sure that we felt like this was the place that I needed to be. So
it's a great opportunity for them to become great leaders, because they'll be surrounded by great leaders.
You have every opportunity that you'd find at a secular university, only better, because there is a spiritual aspect to it.
you're constantly just pouring into each other. You're reading the Word together. You're praying for each other every day. You're being prayed for by somebody.
This is incredible. Absolutely no place like Liberty University.
When I come to this campus, I'm blown away. The largest Christian university in the world, with the most effective student body leaving from this place and going out to change the world in every discipline imaginable.
It's an amazing university, and I'll tell you something, all over the world they're talking about it. Liberty University, what they've done, and in such a short time. So you can be very, very proud of yourself and your leaders. Amazing job.
Over the many years, and I'm very, very proud of what's going on at this university.
And you're in such a good place. You're in a place where there's been a spiritual legacy and a heritage that's being passed down to you through so many who have invested their lives to teach the next generation. You're their hope to walk into this world and change this world.
Welcome back to a very, very rainy Lynchburg, Virginia, as the second quarter starting here, and the Wolfpack with possession, looking to tie this game up at 4. Ball dropped off, cutting towards the goal. Nice defense there by Liberty with the hack. Ground ball, Fianco trying to dig it up, is able to get to it. However, possession will be here in favor of NC State.
NC State getting a lot of possessions off the faceoff. That's the real difference maker that makes this game as close as it is. If Liberty was winning their faceoffs cleanly and possessing a little bit more inside and finishing and not allowing Kevin Dunaway to make the checks that he's making, this is a much different ball game, right?
Ball sent here to the near side of the field. Duncan down deep for Peters.
Oh.
Kamholtz coming out again, open net, but they couldn't capitalize.
I guess that was pretty well calculated.
Dropped off, shot towards the goal by Poulos off a stick. Now Kamholtz twists and turns, gets through 2, and here he comes.
That's incredible. That's just incredible. That's Kamholtz being Kamholtz. He is so strong out of the net. Yeah, it's high risk, high reward sometimes. You might have a goal as a consequence, but ultimately the way that you're able to spark transition and make less and make more successful clears than the mistakes that you make, it makes him the special player that he is, and it probably lets coaches McQuillan give him the green light in regards to what he wants to do out of the crease.
Yeah, last year Kyle McQuillan said he'd like to put the reins on him a little bit more because he's about to give him a heart attack, but this year he's kind of like, you know what, just run with it. I trust you.
When you score a goal against North Dakota State in the first round of the MCLA tournament, when the stakes are that high, you have to continue to give him the green light, I guess, when he comes back as a more experienced player.
Ball down low, Miller looking to walk it out in front, twists and turns, still holding on to it. Miller, now he slows things back down. He's got Tobias on this side of the field, looking to set up in front is Moore. Miller with it. A pass over Haywood, Moore able to get to it. Things starting to fill up here at the Blackout game as the stands are completely full. However, people are starting to pack in around the field at the ends.
This was a really great event last year, a Division II game between Liberty and Tennessee Wesleyan, one of those varsity-sponsored NAIA teams, good talent on the field, but how great it is to see a great ACC, SELC-branded team like North Carolina State come here and really give the fans a little bit more to be excited about.
Penalty coming here. Yellow flag thrown on the big hit just in front of us. And it looks like Bryce Marakovich will be going off. 1 minute releasable penalty.
Good opportunity here for North Carolina State to tie it up at 4. Liberty really is doing a decent job at letting North Carolina State play in these games. A little bit sloppy on the execution, letting their aggression get the better of them. A lot of penalties so far. I think that they'll settle in and ultimately pull away, but really exciting first half so far, the way that North Carolina State is answering to the opportunities that Liberty gives them.
Naifong from behind the net throws it out in front. Unable to get the shot off was Duffy. Naifong with it again. Pass out top, a shot. Off a body, picked up. Naifong doing some work here. Ball still free, comes out top. Williams couldn't get to it. Zampano tripped up. And now Travis Briggs brings it across midfield. Tobias, one-on-one. Runs it deep, throws on the brakes, allowing his midfield attackers to come on.
We've seen a lot of long sticks in this game handle the ball, and the results have been a little bit inconsistent. Ultimately, as the game goes on and maybe as the field dries up, I expect these long sticks who like to handle the ball, mainly being, as you mentioned, Travis Briggs and John Huey as well for North Carolina State, converting more passes and really sparking transition more efficiently in both directions.
Marakovich with it now for Liberty. Sending it there for Miller. 1 goal so far on the night. Sent back, Marakovich to Moore. Haywood on the field as well. Looking to go one-on-one. Marakovich dodges, throws on the brakes, takes a hack, still with it. Nice pass, and Haywood couldn't handle it. Possession will be here in NC State's favor.
And what a lost opportunity right there. Joshua Blackley coming with the out-of-control slide on Marakovic. Haywood was open, just unable to convert.
Pulos drops it back, ball down low. Naifong, shot stopped by Cam Holtz. Rebound comes out, it's sent towards the goal, and now the Flames able to dig it up. And here comes Chad Moore.
Athletic play by Naifong to make the inside roll there. Cam Holtz makes a great save. Once again, a little bit of an awkward situation out of the goal, but Liberty able to clean up the garbage and spark things in transition the other way.
Miller's shot missed the net. Flames here will have possession.
And despite the fact that there was no goal there, that play within itself really sums up Ryan Miller's ability to read the field. Numbers situation, knows that he has a guy in his back, spins away, gets a shot off. What a special player.
Miller, another shot, missed the net. Tobias brings it right back in. Flames here buzzing around the goal in the last minute. Out top, Haywood to Moore. They wheel it around. Marakovic holding on, sends it back behind the net. Leaping in the air to get it to Tobias. Now he looks to walk out in front. A nice pass, a shot, and that just missed.
Well executed right there. Tobias, the quarterback behind, slumps 3 defensemen in and sees Chad Moore with time and room up top. Just couldn't get it on cage.
Armstrong, Tristan turns, finds a man in front. A shot stopped by Edwards.
Edwards having a pretty good game. Liberty bringing a lot of high heat. Edwards seeing it all the way, with the exception of the goal that I guess him by committee put into his own with Kevin Dunway. Really solid performance so far by the NC State keeper wearing number 42.
Flames look to pinch off the man. Finally coming across is Mastriani. 4-3 the score, 9:19 left here in the second quarter. We'll have a timeout as both sides retreat back to their benches.
Good timeout here by North Carolina State, Red. Again, you're 1 goal down. You have offensive possession. Things have gotten a little bit chippy, and the emotions revolving around this game are still riding high. So, really good opportunity here for Coach Chip Thurston and Chris Demarest to settle their guys down and say, "Hey, fellas, we're in this. We're doing good things on both offense and defense. Minimize mistakes. Keep forcing Liberty to make the mistakes that they've been making by overexcited, and we could pull out a W here."
Yeah, it looks like Liberty hasn't really settled into the typical game style that they usually play.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Liberty is by far and away the more athletic, more deep team here, and they're doing great things. I think that, you know, playing in front of a big crowd, playing a little bit later at night, they're just missing some cues, and it's only a matter of time before they get back in sync. You see the way that the attackmen are playing quarterback and finding their middies up top for the time and room shots. Sooner or later, these will really start connecting, and as long as Liberty continues to play good shutdown defense and really begin to limit Naifong and his versatility, I think that the Flames will have a decent opportunity to really widen the gap here.
Both sides now stepping back out onto the field. Like you said, offensive possession here will be for NC State and have an opportunity to tie this game. Bill Naifong has been as advertised here so far in the first half of this game, creating lots of offensive opportunities for the Wolfpack. Now it's sent down low, holding on to it Williams. Back out top for Pulos. Duffy to Pulos. Duffy with it, still holding on to it. Runs it deep. Naifong now positioned right in front of the net as Duffy sends it right back to Pulos. Dodging, making a move, holding on Williams. A pass, Naifong shot, out goes over the goal.
Gotta love the way that Williams and Naifong are really working together here. On all angles of the field, they always know where each other are. They're working the ball to one another, and Naifong's taken a lot of shots. He's converted a few, missed a few wide. I mean, Liberty really has to buckle down on number 4 in white in order to minimize North Carolina State's future offensive opportunities.
Pulos, a pass. A high stick there. Naifong takes it right to the lid. No call on the play, and here comes Chad Moore. Moore with it. Nice transition. Pass in front, scores. Chris Armstrong makes it 5-3.
And this is really what makes Liberty the great team that they are, the way that they're just able to operate in full field situations. You saw there was a little bit of a brush by Kyle Goulden on the check, but ultimately no call. Chad Moore able to push it up in transition, time and space, moves his feet well, and ultimately, who does he find cutting in front of the net off ball? Chris Armstrong on the beautiful finish. Ultimately, Brady Edwards just never had a chance.
Face-off coming will be Deaver and Fianco. Picked up now by NC State, and here they come right back the other way. Huey sending it over, cutting in. Williams, a shot stopped by Cam Holtz. He gets it. And now he's going to run it ahead. The goaltender rang the crossbar against Michigan State last weekend as the Flames dropped that one to the number 5 team in the MCLA.
Good communication there by Liberty. Miguel Lazota stayed back as the midi as Cam Holtz went over the midfield line. Didn't make a run for the goal, but set up Liberty with possession. And just another really solid offensive possession. You have to be enthused if you're North Carolina State's offensive coordinator. They're getting good opportunities. They're just dealing with a very good, experienced defense and arguably one of the best goalies in the conference.
Chad Moore with it. Murakovic. Setting it back out top, holding on. Murakovic looks to dance, still with it, makes a move, cuts in, throws on the brakes. Moore sending it back. Murakovic trying to track it down, able to keep it in play, digs it up, makes a move. Boy, he's got some quick hands. Still with it, Price. He's got Tobias on the near side. He finds him with the pass.
This is the situation we want right here. Kurt Tobias behind with the short stick, has an opportunity to pull the corner.
Miller's shot scores. A howitzer from out top, and now the Flames starting to pull away 6-3.
Well, don't say you didn't see that coming again. Kurt Tobias gets a really good opportunity to operate as a quarterback against a short stick defender behind. That was Michael Mastriani. Ryan Miller ultimately forced up from the GLE area, gets lost right in the sweet spot to shoot. He gets time and room from 10 and 15 and sends a stinger into the top right corner. Second goal of the game for Miller. That is now his 31st goal of the year.
It's crazy, in my opinion, to look at a team like NC State and their leading goal scorer has 12, and then you take a look at Liberty and they've got Murakovic with 15. You've got Miller, like you said, 31.
31, yep.
So on and so forth. Armstrong's got 23. I guess 24 now on the night. So.
Yeah, NC State just has to really bulk up their recruiting on the offensive end. They have good athletes. They'll be graduating some guys. Definitely a defensively predicated team, but you know, you learn from a game like this, and you find out what you did well offensively, and you build off that, and you find some young personnel, and this Wolfpack program will certainly be doing well in the future.
Nice ride there by Liberty. They pinch off the man. Now ball taken down low. Darling to Tobias, back out top. Skylar Sipe holding on. Gets it to Miller. He looks to go one-on-one. Cuts in. Makes a move. Still with it. A shot, and that goes over the net. Now we're going to send it back down to our man Jake that's doing some Scott turf building down there for us.
I am. It's still coming down out here, but this turf is an artificial turf, and the water just seeps right through, so it's no problem for anybody out there unless it's a torrential downpour. But also, I'm looking out here, and there's just tons of fans. Nobody's going anywhere. They're going to stay here to the very end, and now they're starting to make some noise.
So is it slick for you?
I almost fell once, but I'm doing okay right now.
Good.
I'm trying to find an umbrella. I haven't found one yet.
You get some spikes on those nice boots of yours down there.
Got my cleats.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Jake.
Yeah.
Lozada with it now. Sends it across. Skylar Sipe to Miller. Miller holding on. Cuts back the other way. Being defended nicely there by Blackley. Tobias. Wheels it across. Sipe. Armstrong. Played back behind the goal. Flames here still patiently waiting. Armstrong looks to roll out in front of the net, makes a nice move, cuts back the other way, finds his pass. Tobias, a shot. Nice save there by Edwards.
Got a piece of it on the way out. And now you really see in which ways Liberty's going to get on the board. They're either going to be really sparky in transition and get the right shot that they want, or ultimately they're going to slow down their offense a bit, get an opportunity to have a quarterback operate behind the net, whether it's Tobias or Miller or even Chris Armstrong, but you can't afford unforced turnovers like that one just there.
Ball sent cross field right into the pocket. Dunaway able to send it ahead. Poulos. 4:08 here left in the second period as we almost reach the half of this game. 6-3 the score for Liberty. Jeff Williams with it. He's had a connection so far tonight, as you said, with Naifong. Now the ball comes. Poulos with it on the near side, sends it deep. Peters back to Poulos. Eventually you start to think perhaps maybe towards the end of the third quarter that the depth of Liberty will start to take over as well, because you're seeing an awful lot of Poulos, you're seeing an awful lot of their attackers, and Flames kind of subbing guys in and out.
Yeah, Liberty has a very deep roster of guys that can really do more than advertised. They have a strong defensive midfield unit that ultimately Derek Haywood can lead up as a second line midi. A lot of young freshmen who are able to capably play, and I'm sure that Coach McQuillan wants to get into this game, feel the situation, feel the pressure, feel what it's like under the lights, so they'll be better prepared in future situations, future midnight blackout games, MCLA tournament games. This is an opportunity for Liberty to use its depth later in the game so their younger guys can get experience under pressure.
Ball picked up by Cam Holtz, sent ahead Lozada with some speed, able to bring it across midfield.
Lozada, just a great athlete again, right out of Long Island. While at Mepham, really a dynamic two-way midi, did a lot of scoring, was their primary defensive midi, and ultimately, as a senior on this Liberty team, has now just been a great transition defensive midfielder and someone who could really cause matchup problems on the offensive end as well.
Haywood gets pinched off, still with it. Haywood, a pass, a shot was faked. Marakovic still battling for it. And now that one's eventually picked up by Haywood.
Good job by Haywood to get the ball back and slow things down.
Pass in front. Oh, a nifty little play there by Marakovic. Almost found the back of the net.
Again, good quarterback play. Chris Armstrong standing flat-footed behind the net, found the cutter in Marakovic. Marakovic didn't have much of an angle, tried to tuck it behind his back. We have seen Liberty score goals behind the back before. Joe Gargiulo, that was one of his favorites. Ryan Miller scored a goal in the MCLA semifinals behind the back against St. Thomas last year.
Poulos shot scores. They found the open man at the top of the box, and he capitalized.
And that could be a really good momentum goal for North Carolina State. Another assist for Jeff Williams here, finds Poulos up top. That's a save that I would really expect Cam Holtz to make. Dropped down on one knee, had it all the way. Ultimately just a little bit too much speed on that, and it's able to get past Cam Holtz and into the midsection of the net. The score is now within two. A goal by North Carolina State's best midfielder in Nathan Poulos, and we'll see where this takes the rest of the half.
1:51 left. Face-off coming here. Moore unable to get to it. It's picked up by Creamer. He slows up, now he finds his man. Just dropped out of the pocket there. Now Huey able to get to it. The long stick midi drops it back. Mastriani sending it down low. Williams to Peters. Naifong posted up right in front. 6'2", 200 pounds, takes up a lot of room. Another shot, that one up and over the goal. Possession here in favor of NC State.
Almost a minute left. You have Jeff Williams operating behind the net for NC State. Really a very important opportunity for Liberty to lock down on D.
Peters with it, looking in front. Poulos went to the front of the goal, sent right back out. Wellen at the side. Williams out top. A timeout here called by NC State.
Another well-taken timeout by NC State. You're within the last minute. You're down by 2 goals. You have a good possession going. You've been chasing the balls out of bounds. You're allowing your guys to operate the way you want to do. You have the last goal on the board by your best midfielder in Nathan Poulas. So really a good opportunity to convene, get a game plan together, and go into the second half with momentum and, again, bridging the gap in this lead.
How much can rain really affect? You know, you've got a nice turf surface here, but if, in your opinion, what is the main thing that rain would affect in this game?
You know, I think that regardless of the playing surface or whatever other circumstances, the thing that rain will bring to a lacrosse game is really 2 things. One, the ball is more slippery. So ultimately, routine passes, especially in the clearing and transition game, aren't necessarily exactly on target as they usually be. And then the other thing to take into consideration is the way that it actually affects the stick as well. Now, there have been a lot of developments in the technology and the way that mesh is made. They wax it up so it's able to be more durable in weather. But ultimately, when the rain comes into play, you'll see teams use soft balls in order to keep the pinch and the plastic of the stick from not getting a penalty. Guys will be twiddling away at their pockets, because ultimately, if you get an illegal stick penalty, that's a 3-minute non-releasable penalty. So that puts a very good player in the sin bin for 3 minutes, and the other team could score as many goals as they want. You're still a man down. So that's ultimately something you don't want to have to swallow.
Play back underway here. Under a minute left in the half. It comes back out top. Naifong to Poulas. Naifong with it. Being guarded heavily. Makes a nice spin. Dropped it. Nice defensive stand by the Flames. It's still free, however, at the side of the net. Dropped from behind, and now possession here in favor of NC State.
Fortunate for NC State to get possession off the loose ball push. This is not the possession that the NC State coaching staff would have wanted so far.
Poulas. Sent over here near side. Duncan. Dropped back. Peters. Looking for a lane. Flames here so far so good on the defensive end of things. Duffy. It's sent out top, and now holding on to it is Kieber. Number 13 cuts in a shot, stopped by Cam Holtz. That's going to basically do it here for the second period, and the Flames will head into the break with a 6-4 lead. Things that you noticed there in the first half to take away from, maybe adjustment that the Flames need to make and the adjustment NC State needs to make?
Well, you know, a closer game than I expected so far. I think that both teams need to slow down a little bit in their offensive end. I think that similarly enough, they're very, very good when they're able to have an attackman operate as a quarterback and find what they're looking for in order to make things work. Liberty has been very dominant in the loose ball and the transition game. I think, again, if they just are able to slow things down and connect on more passes in the offensive end, they'll find more opportunities to shoot and score in space. But ultimately, it's as good as a game as it can be. I think that both teams so far are playing as though that they're evenly matched. NC State is doing a good job not folding under the pressure of a late game under the lights that are actually feeding into it, as assistant coach Chris Demarest said that they would. And you know, I think that Liberty has a few tweaks to make. They, you know, be a little bit less aggressive, take less penalties, you know who your scorers are and how they like to score. Let Tobias be the quarterback that he is. Let Miller operate off ball, and the second half should be as good as the first.
Well, now we're going to send it to Jake Johnson, the head coach of NC State.
I'm sitting here with Coach Thurston. Your plan was to slow down the attack of Liberty. How do you feel you executed in this first half?
We need to be better in defense. We haven't done that well enough. Our defensemen have been chasing sticks. They haven't been playing the body enough. And so we've been talking to our guys to really play more body, more solid defense, and not go after a lot of their fakes. And I'm hoping the second half they'll do more of that to slow them down.
On the attack, what adjustments are you going to make in the second half?
Well, we were running a 2-2-2 to begin with, and we moved into another offense. What Liberty came out in a zone on us in the second quarter, so we had to change our look there to a 3-3. We're going to keep looking at those different ones, execute out of our different offensive sets. We're going to look at maybe bring up the attackman up top in an invert set and see if we can take the poles and get some opportunities that way also.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Back up to you guys.
What do you think there? I thought NC State actually did a pretty good job defensively there in the first.
Yeah, I have to agree. I thought North Carolina State was great defensively. Their polls were very strong off the face-off. They did a lot of good job. They did a lot of good jobs of, having some trail checks and mitigating some offensive opportunities for Liberty. Of course, they're going to have to continue to try to limit Tobias and Miller off ball. I think that's what every team that takes on the Flames has to take into consideration. But I'm surprised to hear him say that they need to make more defensive adjustments than offensive adjustments, because I thought they were pretty good on the defensive end.
Yeah, definitely. Well, stay tuned. Second half coming up next after the break.
Make winter last year-round at Liberty Mountain Snowflex Center. Enjoy one of our tubing runs or hit the slopes with one of our friendly and knowledgeable instructors. There are features for every level of riding, from beginner to park enthusiasts. There's something here for everyone. Also, don't miss out on our next level ski and snowboard summer camps. Register today. For more information, visit our website at liberty.edu/snowflex.
Welcome back to the LFSM broadcast of the 2014 Blackout Game. I'm Lindsay Keith, and welcome inside the studio of Game On for this halftime report. Game On is a daily show broadcast by LFSN and airs in over 100 million homes across the globe. Last week, one of our anchors, Matt Warner, had a chance to talk to a pair of Liberty sophomore lacrosse players during Game On, and we wanted to bring you that segment today to preview our show. So here now is Matt Warner and Game On.
Liberty men's lacrosse team has been off to a fantastic start so far this season. We'll chat with a couple members of the team here in just a bit. But first, our own Rhett McGibbon takes a look at the team and the sport.
Imagine if one sport could combine the athleticism of basketball,
improve on that number,
hand-eye coordination of baseball,
scoring position,
the physicality of football, and the speed of hockey, all into one great sport.
This is lacrosse, and if you haven't seen it yet, you should, because it's your new favorite sport.
Lacrosse is such a great balance between finesse and just physical brutality. It still surprises me how fired up I get when somebody just gets laid out on the field.
There's no sport that's quicker and that you're going to see more athleticism than a lacrosse game. Being a cool lacrosse player is not a glamorous job, but it's exciting to watch. It's fast, it's tough, and it takes a lot of fortitude to be able to step out on the field and against another team.
And stepping onto the field is what this team does best. In just 3 short seasons, they've managed to become one of the best up-and-coming teams in the MCLA.
This is an exciting team to be a part of. It's exciting to be a part of a team that's young and is kind of creating a culture and has a lot of growth and potential. We've proven ourselves to be a competitive lacrosse school regardless of where we're competing. I think that we have great resources and facilities. I think when you come and you play lacrosse here, you're going to get a great college experience and a great lacrosse experience.
We've built ourselves on a tradition of winning, of character, of representing our faith, and I think those are key components, important components.
And while the foundation for success has been laid, Coach Kyle McQuillan recognizes that this season will host a brand new set of challenges.
We can't be complacent, and we cannot rely on and lean on the success that we've had so far. I think it would have been very easy for us to stay in Division II this season and have another phenomenal year. I mean, we went 18-2 last season, started the season ranked 25th and finished 3rd. We lost in overtime to the eventual national champion St. Thomas in the semifinals at Nationals.
Our goal every year is to win a conference championship. And I think there's no reason we can't do that again this year.
Liberty is a very hard-working team. I think that they understand what it takes in order to have success, not only in years past, but as we move forward. I think that they are very understanding of the opportunities that they've been given, and I think that we're not only the best kept secret, I think we got the brightest future. I really do.
We've got Brant Grouse, the D is silent, and Bryce Marakovich, couple of sophomores stopping by. Thanks for making time, guys. We appreciate it. You guys off to a 7-1 start this season. Just finished a swing through Florida where you beat South Florida, Central Florida, Florida Gators. An impressive road swing for you guys. What's kind of the calling card of this team? What's the identity of this team this year?
The identity? Honestly, I think a solid defense mixed with like a really powerful offense. You know, we got a really solid first line middies, really solid first line attack, and they can score from pretty much anywhere, any opportunity. And basically defense shutting down guys and being able to get the ball over to them. The cohesion of that is always important in any team, so I think it's a mixture of the two.
Guy plays defense. Funny he would mention defense so much in that. Bryce, you guys haven't played a home game in a long time now. It'll be over a month by the time you guys come back for your next home game. But your next home game is kind of a special one. March 28th, you play at midnight against NC State, your second annual blackout game. Tell us what that event is like, a midnight game. What's that like?
It's incredible. It really is. Really, last year we had about 1,000 people out.
Wow.
And this year, just for our home opener, we had about 1,100. So we're hoping to get like 2,000 people out. And we got something special lined up, so we definitely
little tease there.
Definitely want people to come out. It'll be awesome.
What's it like having the fan support like that? What's it like taking the field when there's that many people out there? I'm sure in high school you've played games where there's just your mom and dad sitting there watching. What's it like when so many people are there?
Well, anything that happens on the field, you feel the energy from the crowd. Like again, I remember one time Bryce had this crazy hit on the sideline, and you just heard the whole fan just erupt.
Yeah.
And the rush that you get as a player on the field at that time is just incredible. You got that sense that I need to step up right now, and it's a really cool feeling, and it's good to have the support of the school. It's incredible.
All right, we got some rapid fire questions for you now, real fast. Just first thing that comes to mind, both you guys. Your energy drink of choice for the midnight game. What do you turn into to keep you going?
Man. Red Bull. A lot of it.
Yeah, a lot of it?
Take a nap, too.
Probably, this is stuff called Vima. It's like really healthy.
Is this even legal?
Yeah, no, it's legal. It's legal, but it's got like multivitamin and stuff. It's pretty great.
Okay, next question. Estimate the number of shoes your coach Kyle McQuillan owns. We know he has
at least 15.
Jordans, probably 15.
Is he a hoarder, borderline?
I think he just knows what situation where he's got style.
Okay, all right. That's nice of you to say since he's here. And last, our own Rhett McGibbon is going to come to a story where he gets in goal, tries to stop some shots. Can you promise me that he's going to come out at least a little dinged up out of this? I just want, doesn't be severely injured, but just bruised a little.
Minor bruises, at least.
Take care of that?
Yeah.
Great. I appreciate it. Brant Grouse, Bryce Marakovich, thanks so much for coming on. Good luck the rest of the way.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the preview of Game On. Make sure to check out local listings to find out when it comes on a station near you. And now we'll get back to Rhett and Dave for the second half of the NC State Liberty men's lacrosse blackout game right after this. I'm Lindsay Keith. Thanks for watching Liberty Flame Sports Network.
Back here to the Liberty Lacrosse Fields, I'm standing by with Coach McQuillan. And what's your assessment of the defense there in the first half?
Defense, we've played pretty well. We just need to be more physical. They're getting some inside looks, and we just need to put a stop to that. We need to be more physical. We need to put them on their back, and I think we'll be able to fix a little bit of that this half. So,
thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
I'll send it back up to you guys.
I was kind of curious about that. Typically, you see Liberty likes to be a physical team. In midfield, they look for the the big open field hit, so on and so forth. And you can hear Kyle McQuillan say right there, we gotta lay some more bodies on bodies.
Yeah, I think for the most part, because of the high energy and excitement, and because there's been so many loose balls in these games, some of the defensive players for Liberty are overexerting themselves on the 50-50 balls. But when it comes down to it, and when the game settles down, Coach McQuillan's absolutely right. North Carolina State has executed way too many times off ball in front of the net. You put your body in front of the cutting attackman, or you let him catch the ball, and once you do, you put him on the ground. That is definitely a strategy that Liberty needs to implement in order to pull away and limit North Carolina State offensively in the second half.
Well, one thing that NC State has done a fabulous job of in this game so far is at the face-off dot. they win another and are right back on the attack.
Yeah, I'm really not used to seeing Charles Fianco not play so dominantly. Between both Cole Deaver and Carson Creamer, two really good guys at the X. They have great support with John Huey on the wing, and North Carolina State is performing very well at the face-off X. There's no doubt about that.
Loose ball dug up. Oh, momentarily, it just slipped under the stick, and that perhaps could have been a condition from the rain, but nonetheless, Williams with it, far side, drops it back. Nifong a shot. They score. Just under the bar, and now the score is 6-5.
Well, that's really a goal you don't want to give up if you're Liberty. First goal of the second half, putting them in within one. Nifong is very, very hot right now. Obviously, North Carolina State is doing a good job of operating in the alley and finding guys inside. And Nifong just took a beautiful shot right there, a stinger right off the crossbar, bar down across the line, and we have a one-goal ball game.
Chad Moore in to take the draw for the Flames. Cole Deaver. It's one back, Lozada trying to dig it up. The one-on-one battles here are being won typically by NC State in this area. A nice effort there by Lozada, able to get ahead now Zampano.
Very athletic play by the Long Island native there. Good adjustment to have Chad Moore take the face-off. He won it back, made it more of a 50-50 ball, gave Charles Fianco a chance to rest. Lozado had some trouble by the sideline, was able to keep the ball inbounds and get it to his midfielder coming down the middle.
Haywood protecting the ball from the slash. Now Tobias sending it deep, Armstrong with it. Looking to bring it out in front, it comes out, Moore. Lost it for a moment, it's turned over, now Moore back with it. Flames. Can't seem to get into a rhythm. Moore still holding on, is tied up. Ball comes free. Some pushing and shoving. Miller with a bit of a bump. Now Blackley able to get to it on the far baseline. Now he plays it behind the goal, and Edwards.
Great defense by North Carolina State. Fast to dodge, very good stick checks, get the ball on the grounds. They're clearing effectively. North Carolina State looks very motivated defensively. We thought they played well in the first half, and coach said he wants them to play better in the second half, and so far, so good.
Williams plays it back out top. Peters with it. Or pardon me, rather, David Wellen. Takes it down low, sent around by Williams. Eventually finds Poulos. He'll hold on, sends it over John Duncan. Dropping it off, now Peters with the ball, holding on, finds Wellen with it. Wellen, Poulos, cuts in, drops it back. At the side of the goal, a quick shot, that missed the net and went behind. Trying to get there in time was Cam Holtz. However, possession will be here in favor of the NC State Wolfpack.
Tough angle there by Jeff Williams, right-handed shooter on the right side. Good slide inside by Liberty to force the shot wide.
Still out top, Peters to Wellen. Back to Peters, side of the net. Duffy dropped that one for a moment. Williams back, Duffy. Sent out top, Peters, Wellen. They're wheeling it around nicely, side of the goal, pass in front. Nifong one-handed scores. What a goal, and Nifong has tied the game.
How many times are they going to let Nifong operate in close? I mean, he's been very impressive. He has great hands, certainly a bigger player than we expected as far as stature, and he's doing a great job on the crease. But ultimately, you know, if you have to pinpoint somebody, it looks like Michael Zampano just has to get more aggressive in there. There's good pressure out there, and ultimately, yeah, it was actually number 22, Travis Briggs, who should have done a better job of manning up on Nifong, maybe getting under that check in order to prevent him from catching it and or shooting and scoring.
Bit of a stunner here as NC State able to battle back from 3 down and have now knotted it up at 6. A nice spin off the check, cutting in, sends it low, Williams. NC State. Drop back near side, Kieber. Sending it out, Duffy. Wellen, holding on, Wellen a shot, and that goes wide of the goal. Picked up, Peters, pass in front. Ooh, Nifong was there, but he couldn't connect. Marakovic cuts in, still with it. Drops it deep, pass across, off the crossbar. Armstrong unable to hold on to it. And boy, the loose balls here today have been won in majority by NC State. Blackley across midfield. Sends it over, Duffy.
That was good transition by Liberty. Marakovic found Miller. Miller was very quick to get the ball out of his stick on the shot, just rattled one off the pipe. One extra step, maybe a dip and dunk, and that's a goal, but really good action so far. Didn't expect North Carolina State to be this evenly matched with Liberty, but balls going back and forth, teams doing things similarly, and a tie ball game almost halfway through the third quarter.
Poulos with it now. Finds Williams with the pass. Peters looks to bring out in front. Peters still holding on. Sends it out top. Quick passing here. Wellen cuts in. A shot stop. And Cam Holtz makes the save. Quickly gets it ahead for Haywood.
That was a bullet by Cam Holtz. Finds Haywood right up the middle. Haywood, 2 bull dodges in a row, and the ball comes loose.
Some physical action going on here. Boy, torpedo hit at midfield by Poulos, and now it's sent ahead. Williams cutting in. Slowing it down. Williams still with it. Takes a bit of a hit from Briggs. Sent down low for Peters. Kyle McQuillan giving the official an earful from the sideline.
Perhaps could have been a loose ball push on North Carolina State in that scrum. North Carolina State setting up now in their 2-2-2. It actually looks like they're leaving Naifong in the middle, so a bit of a diamond or a box in one, and you see there that it looks like the responsibility of Brant Grouse will have to lock down Naifong in front, so expect some physical play on the inside from number 19 in black.
Take another look here at the physical play in midfield.
So I think the call that Coach McQuillan wanted was actually a high stick or a slash on Puglis. Haywood did a good job of squaring his body and bull dodging in, and Puglis's butt end of the stick did go right under the chin of Haywood, so perhaps that was a missed call.
Possession here in favor of the Flames. Once again, an errant pass. And now Liberty picks it up, bringing it ahead for the Flames. Nate White, the freshman, drops it back for Cam Holtz. He brings it up to midfield. A nice pass right into the pocket. Moore coming in, sends it over. Goes back behind the goal with it now. Miller along with Haywood. Miller cuts out, takes a shot off the crossbar, and boy, Miller has hit the pipe twice here. And 2 offensive opportunities for the Flames.
Good offensive set, though. Ryan Miller had the defense flat-footed behind the net, caused the goalie to come out, turn the corner, took a nice shot, just hit the iron.
Marakovic holding on, looks to play it deep. That goes off a stick, battling for it. Nice work here by Bryce. Scoops it through one, has to compete with his fellow teammate. Now it's turned over in the long stick midi. Blackley unable to get it out. Nice ride here by the Flames. Tobias with it now, cutting in, throws on the brakes, drops it back. Chad Moore will slow things up even more. John Huey working him over. Moore still with it. Sends it out. Ryan Miller. Pass near side. Armstrong with a shot. That goes off the goaltender, I believe, and behind the goal, and now Tobias will bring it in play.
Good internal slide there by Jay Huey to take the angle away that time from Chris Armstrong. This next goal is going to be a momentum goal. Both teams playing at a very high tempo, very physical. If Liberty scores the next goal, expect them to slow things down and fall back into their style. But for the next couple minutes while the game's still tied, emotions are going to be flaring, ball's going to be flying, body's going to be hitting each other. We'll see who gets the next one.
Armstrong pass out, looking for Tobias cutting in. This one's going to find its way to midfield. They're battling for it. Nice work by Haywood. He's able to dig it up, and now he comes in, makes the move. Haywood drops it over Miller. He's been dangerous so far tonight. Behind the net, trotting across. Armstrong, Moore, back to Haywood. Top of the arc. Tobias Armstrong, Flames here just cycling the ball around in the offensive zone. Now Haywood looks to go one-on-one. Pick set by Miller. It's dropped back. Flames can't find an opening. Chad Moore, Miller. Haywood tries to cut in deep, was angled off. Tobias, pass out. Miller, shot, and that goes over the net.
So now with this possession, it seems like Liberty has slowed themselves down, kind of taking the emotion out of it, taking some air out of the ball. You have Tobias playing quarterback, Miller's operating off ball up top. Maybe this is the time where you get a really good pragmatic goal the way that you want to, the way that Liberty knows how to score. Get the goal that you need to, get the lead the way that you need to, and then just continue to operate from there for the win.
Ball comes out top, turned over. Still holding on to it here, looking to get it out. Jay Hughes. Passes across, Duffy takes a hack. Multiple flags thrown. And now coming in with it here, Duffy. Has it knocked out of his stick, and a penalty coming here against Liberty.
Looks like Marakovich is gonna get called for a slash, so you know, it's really going to hurt you twice here. Not only do you have to send a player to the sin bin, but your best two-way midi. But good play by Haywood to knock that ball away from Austin Duffy there to mitigate the offensive opportunity. Oh, it looks like it's going to be a trip call, unfortunately. Marakovich actually caught the leg of Duffy coming across and then came over top with the stick check that probably won't get the call. So it will be a tripping call on Marakovich. And again, a very good play by Haywood to knock the ball away from Duffy once he came into the offensive box. North Carolina State could have had a free possession, but ultimately that is taken away, and North Carolina State will just have to start this man up from scratch.
53 seconds here left on the power play. Flames have yet to have one so far tonight. An errant pass out of bounds, and now the Flames will have possession and look to kill off valuable seconds here on the advantage for NC State. Zampano.
Very sloppy and uncharacteristic play there by Naifong. Routine pass to the left side, didn't have his eye on it. Ball goes out of bounds, and now Liberty could kill this penalty.
Lozada back for Miller. 30 seconds left on the penalty. Miller patiently waits, gets it. Tobias holds on to it. Nobody pressuring him. Now Moore just posts up to Tobias. Flames here, only 10 seconds left on the penalty. Will have killed it off and will look to go on the attack. Lozada with it out top. Marakovich now back on the field. Both sides at full strength.
Good penalty kill by Liberty. You have good offensive personnel there and possession. 4 minutes left in the third quarter, tie game. See what you got.
Miller with it. Spun off his man, Moore. A pass, didn't find the intended receiver. However, Lozada able to pick it up. He sends it back for Moore.
Gotta love the way Lozada and Moore really handling the game in between the lines here. Playing within their roles, looking for scoring opportunities, but not putting their team in detriment, not doing anything too fancy.
Once again, an errant pass here by Armstrong, and now NC State, the benefactor.
You know, Red, I talked to Mason Goodhand, the head coach at Westminster University, similarly to Liberty, a team that just made the jump from MCLA Division II to Division I. Westminster beat 8th-ranked UCSB this week, and I asked Coach Goodhand, what is the biggest difference between D2 and D1? He's like, the importance of possessions are so vital that, you know, in Division II you could get away with a few turnovers, and if you're the better team, you'll still end up pulling away. But in Division I MCLA lacrosse, you know, every turnover, every loose ball can really end up going right down to the wire.
Ball taken deep, Berger playing it around near side, Duncan. Drops it out top. Poulas, a shot off a body, and now Marakovich able to get to the sideline. He'll bring it in play.
That was kind of a lucky call by Marakovich. He actually chased the sideline. That's the old rule. You're really supposed to stay more in line toward the ball, and it looks like North Carolina State's number 17, John Duncan, could have had that advantage. But on the inbound pass, looks like there's some laundry on the field, and what an opportunity this will be for the Flames right now.
Yeah, Flames going to get their first power play of the early morning, I guess I should say. And Chad Moore there took quite the hit as he was elevated.
I still can't believe it's 1:16 on a Saturday. My girlfriend is an elementary school teacher. Normally we're sleeping by 10 o'clock on a Friday. But what a great trip this has been so far. But let's take a look at this replay. Inbound pass by Moore. Just a little bit of exuberance by Nathan Poulos there. Wanted to show some physicality on North Carolina State right from the get-go. Puts a good hit on Liberty, but ultimately he will have to serve some time. And if Liberty could connect on this man up, it could really be the game changer.
Another angle here of the contact.
Marakovic kind of lobs it up to a buddy pass for Moore. That could have been a lot more direct. And Poulos puts a body on it, kind of hit the back of Moore, and that's probably what initiated the flag. If it was more of a shoulder-to-shoulder hit, could have been a play-on situation.
Yeah, I believe, did you say it was Haywood that delivered the pass? Pass out, because it looked like it was a suicide pass, basically.
Yeah, no,
he came
absolutely.
Up, he's like, I'm really sorry about that.
Marakovic, yeah. If he just put that Moore on a line, Moore could have picked it up and went on the run. But a little bit of a lob, and ultimately Moore took a hit on the back from Poulos.
They're wheeling the ball around, 39 seconds left. Armstrong to Miller. Back Armstrong, Miller with it out top, Moore. Holding on to it, Miller. Moore, a shot, nice save by Edwards.
Liberty has been all about the outside shot, and they've been successful there. Moore knows how to rip it, Bernardo knows how to rip it, Marakovic knows how to rip it. But good goaltending play by North Carolina State in that regard.
Nice interception there by Marakovic, and now the Flames able to post up again. Only 7 seconds left here on the power play, and once again, the Flames turn the ball over.
Good look, diagonal pass. Marakovic had Ryan Miller wide open on the far corner, but again, Ryan Miller, a smaller size player, not always able to get a great look at the ball through the bodies, and that pass skips wide.
Played ahead, Edwards. 2 minutes here left in the third. Flames have yet to score. Play deep. Cam Holtz was coming out after it. Now Williams trying to get towards the goal. Nice work, Cam Holtz. Trying to pick it up. Ball still free. Cam Holtz way out of the net. Now he retreats back to his crease.
Good defensive play there by Travis Briggs to force the turnover. Cam Holtz came out to try to get the ball, but was diligent to get back into the cage once North Carolina State repossessed.
At the side of the net, an errant pass now in Liberty's favor. So both sides here playing the turnover game in the third. Fed there for Cam Holtz. 1:20 left here in the third. At the second annual midnight game. Tobias now gets to it, the senior. Attackman trying to take it wide, bowls through his man. Will hold on to it. Now he drops it off for Armstrong. Zimpano now jetting across midfield, allowing Haywood to step on. Haywood with it, looks to take it wide. Still holding on. Haywood lost it, nice defense. And now NC State looking to clear. But it's picked up by the Flames. Quick pass across, Miller a drive. Edwards, I believe, just got a piece of that one. Timeout being called here by Kyle McQuillan, and the Flames will try to orchestrate something here with 32 seconds left on the clock.
A good timeout by Kyle McQuillan. Liberty has gotten a lot of shots and had a lot of quality opportunities through the man up here in this third quarter. Ultimately, it's about a lot of quick passing and finding a guy with time and room, either from a hard angle or way up top. I think that Liberty needs to refocus everything toward the middle of the cage. North Carolina State has gotten a lot of goals by working things inside to Nai Fong. Ryan Miller has that capability. Marakovic has that capability. Chris Armstrong has that capability. They are unbelievable. So many great Division I players on this Liberty team who know how to move the ball around the outside and find opportunities there. But if they just are able to take the next step in the dynamic and make a look inside and confuse Brady Edwards on the crease, I think that's where Liberty's going to find success if they're going to win this game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, much closer game than I had expected. When I looked at the score sheets and kind of the schedule of NC State and saw that they defeated Wake Forest by a score of 9-3 at Liberty, absolutely demolishing Wake Forest.
Yeah.
Wake Forest early in the year, I thought this wouldn't be a close contest at this point.
No, I didn't either. But again, I spoke to Chris Dearmers, the assistant coach at North Carolina State early in the week. I asked him, is this midnight game something you kind of got sold into and thought would be something to be cool to try? He's like, no, we totally bought into this. We're totally excited about it. We've been practicing under the lights. We're really going to relish the opportunity to play on the road in front of a big crowd in a game like this. North Carolina State, they've gotten big wins before. They had a big win over Georgia Tech last year. Again, a former NCAA Division I program. So really, you could change the entire perception and outlook on the rest of the season by a win here. And the Wolfpack looks prepared, I have to say.
How much different is the game of lacrosse under the lights instead of in the daytime?
Oh, it's a lot different. It's a lot different. The way that you could just be squared up to a routine pass and get the lights in your eyes, it's so much different. It's different for the goalie's view, depending on what direction you're moving in. I mean, personally, it's always better to play in natural light. It's much more predictable. The lights just give you a much different element and can really make you just more nervous in general.
Ball sent ahead, and that's going to do it here for the third quarter. 6-6 the score in a low-scoring game that, boy, hopefully here, if you're a Flames fan in the fourth, you're going to be able to see some of that high-octane offense that they can deliver.
Yeah, I think it's all going to come down to face-off play, winning loose balls. I think that Liberty has to, again, get back to working a very set offense, working things to the inside, utilizing attackman as a quarterback, and if they could just maintain possession in the fourth quarter, they'll have success.
Well, make sure you don't go anywhere. A tie ball game headed into the fourth quarter. We'll be right back after the break.
Liberty has grown with intention, purpose, and boldness, and sometimes it can be hard to keep up with all the change. But by liking Liberty's Facebook page and following Liberty on Twitter, you can get instant access to exclusive content and keep up to date with all the latest current events. Go online to see all the different ways you can stay connected to Liberty University.
Liberty University School of Law is training the next generation of lawyers and citizens to make a positive impact on our country. Now you can expand your perspective, grow in knowledge, and gain real-world experience at the Liberty University School of Law. Visit law.liberty.edu and discover an unparalleled lawyering skills program taught from a Christian worldview. That's law.liberty.edu.
And we got ourselves a good one here at the Liberty Lacrosse Field, all notched up at 6. And right now, we've got the best view in the house. This new press box built right by the stands. And we talked to Coach McQuillan a little bit earlier, and he said when they went to put more stands in, he said, can we get a press box too? And Liberty said, yeah, put it up there. We're going to get you. But best view in the house. We've got our camera crew set up here as well. However, it is still raining. But with this new press box, it's allowing for that safety from the elements for Rhett and for Dave. And we'll send it back to you guys for the fourth quarter coming up.
I have to admit, I'd much rather be in here than up top on the rain.
When I got that email from our producer this morning talking about potential rain attire, but saying, hey, yeah, Rhett and Dave are going to be okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, I know I've arrived in broadcasting if I can guarantee dryness.
And there you go. Lozada cuts in and scores, making it 7-6.
And this is that momentum goal that Liberty needs. Miguel Lozada, a senior, not necessarily a prolific scorer, only has 3 goals and 2 assists on the year. That is his 4th, but able to get past the long stick midi, come down the angle, and bury it high. Huge momentum goal. He did it by himself. He took 4 defensemen with him. He took the matter into his own hands, and now he's on the sideline saying, guys, let's do this. I took it all on my back right there to give us the game-winning goal. Let's get back to Liberty Lacrosse. Let's pull away, and let's finish this 14-41 strong.
Face off here, taken by Fianco. He'll hold on to it. Now he looks for an outlet, carries it ahead himself, and gets it there for Tobias.
And a pivotal, good face-off win by Fianco. Wins it right to himself, gets possession off of the lead. Good job by number 9.
Different feel here already in the fourth quarter by Liberty. A bit more of a determined look. At times you almost wonder if they looked at the score box themselves and said, hey, you know, we smoked Wake Forest. We're going to come into this game and just romp the Wolfpack.
Yeah, you know, you get excited about the big crowd. You start thinking about what the result's going to be more than what you have to put into it. Got caught off guard, but, you know, Coach McQuillan, these players, they're just too good to really completely overlook an opponent. They'll make mistakes like that, and they'll keep the game closer than they need to, but, you know, pulling away with a win is certainly on focus now. Taking one more look at this goal. Unbelievable play for Miguel Lazota to get past John Huey there. The defense continued to collapse in, and Miguel Lazota, the Long Island native out of Mepham High School in Merrick, sees the goaltender Brady Edwards just start to dip low, and he puts it right over his shoulder for the pivotal 7th goal of the game to put Liberty up by 1.
Kyber now taking it, tries to roll off his defender, still has it low. Peters. I don't know if it's the lights here tonight, but both sides have turned the ball over a multitude of times in the offensive zone. Peters with it near side, looking for an angle, still holding on to it. Sent deep for Williams, covering him Briggs. Williams tries to cut in front, still holding on to it. Knocked down, getting to it. Haywood, unable to dig it up. Now Moore holds on to it, and he'll bring it across midfield.
Good turnover by Briggs there. Fortunate not to get called with the trip. You got to be impressed by the way that Moore is managing this game in between the lines, bringing the ball upfield, managing the top middle.
Ball free. Tobias unable to get to it. Coming ahead here with some speed, Kevin Dunaway. Pass across, ball on the ground, dug up, and now back the other way. Come the Flames.
Kevin Dunaway threw that pass way too early. He had a lot more time and room to create for himself and then make the pass and dish when necessary. That was an errant, early, and sloppy pass by number 30.
Armstrong out. He's already got 5 more goals this year than last year, averaging 2.26 a game. Pass across, Marakovic. In the corner, Tobias back out top, Miller. Got to give the fans credit here. In the rain, late at night, they still haven't left. An errant pass picked up, and now the Wolfpack with possession. Flames look to right it out, but an open lane here, and Blackley able to run it ahead. Blackley still with it, drops it back. Williams, a pass, Wellen. Finds Poulos, his shot off a body and down in a heap of pain. Looks to be Marakovic.
Marakovic was just right in front of that shot. Looks like he caught the rubber. Solid in the midsection area. He'll go down for penalty time. Everyone will take a knee. For injury time, rather.
Surprised that honestly doesn't happen more often.
You'd be surprised, right? Yeah, and it looks like he's getting up, which is very important. You know, whenever a ball hits somebody anywhere near the chest or the head area, you know, it's always of concern. There have been players who have lost their lives on the cross field, goalies, defensemen who have taken that shot to the heart area at the exact wrong time. And, you know, there have been developments in the sport of lacrosse and safety precautions in regards to having AEDs on the sidelines in order to correct situations like that. But looks like Bryce Marakovic just got a little bit of a stinger there walking to the sideline. I'm sure Coach McQuillan will get him back out there for another run very soon.
Play to the near side, Peters. 11 minutes here left in this game. Flames up by 1. Pass to the far side, Duffy. Back out top, Poulos. Crowd here starting at a little bit rambunctious at times. Wellen carries it low. Wellen still holding on to it. Tries to cut in front, a shot, and that went wide. Picked up behind the net. Williams guarded by Briggs. Poulos. Wilmington, North Carolina native holding on to it. Heart and soul kind of player, as their coach described him as the guy that's going to take a hit to make the play. Trying to bring it in front. Peters holding on to it, finds Pulas. Couldn't get the shot go. Zampano covered him nicely. Flames here with some nice defensive zone coverage.
Zampano doing a very good job at LSM covering Nathan Pulas. They really do not want to give that shifty two-way midi time to operate.
Wellen holding on to it now, looks to go one-on-one, makes a move, gets around his man. Darling covering him still. Sent back out top. Duncan trying to get around Lozada. Trying to cut out in front. Williams with it, holding on. Williams, a pass, intercepted, a shot stopped, and one of Cam Holt's best saves of the night.
Unbelievable play by Williams. What an incredible feeder to ultimately find Nathan Pulas cutting off ball, put the ball exactly where it needed to be. Cam Holtz read the play from the pass to the shot right away, dropped down low and gobbled it up.
Here comes Marakovic. Throws on the brakes. Bryce cuts back the other way, still with it. Bryce behind the goal. Can Armstrong keep it in? Yes, he can. Tobias to Miller. Moore now on the field. Darling going across. Now Haywood coming onto the offensive side of things. Gets the pass. Haywood cuts in, dodges, plays it deep. Tobias at the near side, ahead. Marakovic, Moore. Miller, a shot, nice save. Rebound comes up. And Edwards playing some solid goal tonight. Now he's looking for an outlet pass, and he finds his man.
Well, Rhett, we've seen Moore and Miller play that two-man game up top quite a bit now. You like to see Miller pick off of his guy and try to create space. Nice pick and switch there. Miller having a good opportunity to shoot from the outside. Ultimately, Miller has a very strong shot. He's very capable from any angle. But again, number two is going to really be able to pad his stats and put Liberty farther in front by operating from the inside, in my opinion. I think that ultimately Brady Edwards just has way too good of a view and is expecting way too much outside heat at this juncture of the game.
One player that I've noticed hasn't been on the field in a while for the Flames is midfielder Brett Bernardo. I'm trying to see if I see him over on the sideline, but I don't see the number 28.
Yeah, I don't remember us saying his name since he scored early in the first quarter, for that matter.
Keeper with it now, playing it down low. Williams holding on to it. It's been a playmaking magician so far here tonight. Takes a shot. Oh, and he just missed. That came close. Keeper playing it ahead. Duffy looking to come in on Moore. Duffy with it. A shot up and over the goal. NC State still with possession.
And you see Cam Holtz is dialed in. He understands what it could mean if North Carolina State gets a goal here. He's making himself big. He's expecting the high heat. Seems a little bit more composed in between the pipes. Not sure if he'll be taking many risks out of the goal at this point.
Pass across, taking that off the bounce. Duffy. Moore covering him nicely. Keeper a shot. That goes up and over the goal. And once again, NC State here will get the ball back.
Good inside slide there by Brant Grouse, not allowing him to penetrate too deep, and the shot goes way over the crossbar.
Pass across, Duffy with it. Looks to cut in on Moore. Moore guarding him nicely. Keeper can't control it. This one is going to come to the line and just roll out.
Oh, that hurts NC State. That could have been easily possessed, unable to chase it down, and now Marakovic has a little bit of an angle coming in.
Marakovic, however, an errant pass picked right back off by Keeper. Edwards in his crease, playing it ahead, and now Blackley. The long stick defender looks to bring it ahead, and he will be able to, but a penalty coming here against the Flames. Kyle McQuillan not pleased towards the goal. Nifong has been quiet here so far in this half. However,
looks like Ryan Miller's going to get called for a slash on that one. Good job by Nate White to once again disallow any opportunity afterwards. But yep, you see Ryan Miller I'm not sure about that one. I don't see any errant contact, not even a brush of the helmet. Maybe he just got him a little bit too hard in the hand. Maybe the ref didn't like the fact that Miller went over the head, but regardless, North Carolina State with a big man-up opportunity here with 5:52 left in the final period.
Power play will be for 30 seconds. 5:52 here left in the game. 7-6 in favor of Liberty. Poulos sending it out. Now it comes back to him. Behind the net, Berger playing it around. Williams back out top. Duffy can't get the shot off. Nice defense here by the Flames. Played back behind the net. Naifong around. NC State needs the tie here. Time dwindling down. Played Poulos. Berger. A nice rhythm, a shot, and that just missed the net. And possession here in favor of NC State.
Naifong came off the off ball. Cam Holtz came out to meet the angle. He is dialed in, number 23.
Power play is now expired. We're back to full strength for both sides. Poulos taking it out top. Now finds Duffy. Played deep. Cam Holtz came out, hooked up his man. Now he gets it.
In and out of the crease by the goalie is the call. Cam Holtz came out through the check, and it looks like he stepped back into the crease as he was clearing out, and the possession will stay with North Carolina State. You're the goalie, you could leave the crease to get the ball, but you can't step back into it. When you saw North Carolina State clear earlier before, you had noticed that Brady Edwards had made the catch on the clear, but kept 1 foot in the crease, so he's able to operate in that area. However, Cam Holtz came way out to make that check and unable to re-penetrate that circle area on the clearing attempt.
Looking to go one-on-one, Wellen trying to bull his way through. Marakovic trailed behind him, a shot stopped, and a nice save there by Cam Holtz. He'll scoop it up, plays it ahead. Here comes Chad Moore. Through midfield, the crowd starts to roar. Pass in front, a nice save by Edwards.
And that's the inside look you were looking for, no question about it. But a great save by Cam Holtz, and an even better play on the rebound there by Michael Zampano to control the rebound, put it down in the crease, and let Moore have that breakout. But that was without question the inside look Liberty was looking for. Moore came down with numbers. He found Armstrong deep inside, and just another great save by Brady Edwards. Unbelievable goaltending on both sides this game.
Here comes Poulos. The ball finds him, and he looks for the tying goal. 3:45 left. Poulos with it, finds a lane. Pass in front. Naifong scores!
Oh, man. This is going to get interesting. And if you wanted North Carolina State to get a goal to tie it up at this late in the game, that's how it's going to come. We talked about in the pregame, Nathan Poulos operating against the short stick, dips and dunks inside. Naifong follows. Ultimately, Michael Zampano is just a step behind him, and Naifong finishes to tie it up at 7 with 3:39. We might be headed for overtime or a great regulation finish. Who knows? One more look here. Again, unbelievable play by Poulos. Good stick protection. Sees Naifong cutting inside. Good job, eyes up. And once again, Michael Zampano, a senior LSM, just has to do a little bit better job on the back check there.
Knocked out of the stick. NC State looking to bring it ahead. A big hit there. Ball still free. Taking a hack under the chin was Miller. And the Flames here, good possession. Lozana brings it in. Plays it down. 3:21 left. Game tied at 7. Chad Moore able to get to it. Sends it across, cutting in. Marakovic. Pass in front. Tobias scores!
How excited the crowd is. Rhett, that was nothing less than brilliant coaching and scheming by Kyle McQuillan. They got an offensive possession. They made a switch. They had one of their best offensive players coming in with speed right off of the bench. Marakovic was able to come in with speed right there. Finds Tobias cutting off the wing inside and gets Brady Edwards on the opposite quarter. Huge go-ahead goal for Liberty.
Face-off won here by NC State. They look for the equalizer. And a timeout here called by their head coach.
So ultimately, if you're Chip Thurston here, you're talking about scheming another sort of a way to find Nifong inside. That's where you've had all your success all game. In the meantime, Coach McQuillan has to get back to his post-halftime speech, buckling down on defense, being aggressive. Guys like Michael Zampano and Nate White need to be beasts inside. They cannot let Nifong go anywhere, and if they does get possession, they need to be quick on the check, because ultimately that could be the difference maker in regards to if you win this game in regulation or if you let it go any further.
Well, as we said, only 2:59 here left in this ball game. 8-7 now in favor of Liberty after Kurt Tobias just put the Flames ahead by 1, and relatively a quiet night on the offensive end of things. You know, you're used to the Flames putting up double digits in the goal department, and right now only at 8. And you kind of think of guys, you know, like Armstrong perhaps scoring more. Tobias, even though he buried one, you usually see him score more than 1 or 2,
Absolutely.
so on and so forth.
Yeah, I think that when it comes down to it, Liberty is just at a very crucial part of their season where North Carolina State was ultimately supposed to be, you know, a coming back in the in-game, so to speak. Right. They've had some tough losses in different regions of the conference, and ultimately had a tough trip to Michigan. Played well, quality losses indeed. You get back home, you're playing under different circumstances. North Carolina State, again, is a very underrated team. So essentially, when you lose 2 games the way that you did to Davenport and Michigan State, it might have hurt the confidence of the offense a little, especially when you start off the season putting away teams like Kentucky and Wake Forest and Tennessee. So ultimately, they're just refining their identity against better competition, but they're well on their way and they're doing everything right, and it's just really, really minor adjustments that they're going to have to make in order to get back on track and perform like they were early in the season, where they were just really putting teams down heavy on the offensive end.
Now, how much would a loss here damage the hopes of Liberty into making it into the top 25?
It would hurt them a lot. I mean, they're still trying to creep in. They've been held out of the polls for a while. This could really keep them out of getting an honorable mention vote, for that matter. How much it will ultimately affect their SELC playoff hopes would still be in question, as they are one of the top 2 teams in their region. But ultimately, sound lacrosse and securing this victory is so important in regards to, you know, maintaining your status as a top SELC team and hopefully looking to break into the top 25 spot in the poll, where you're currently on the bubble out right now.
Played ahead, Tobias now holding on to it, throws on the brakes. We're about to hit the 2-minute mark of this game. Tobias out top, Moore.
And Liberty will have to keep it in. He'll take as much time as he needs to out of the box, but once he steps inside that blue line, Liberty will have to keep it in. They're taking their time on the perimeter. And there it is. The timer should be on now.
Played around, Tobias out top, Miller.
Timer not on. Miller caught it outside the box. No infraction call. Maybe they'll wait for a minute.
Holding on to it, Marakovic dips by his man, throws on the brakes, cuts in. Some nice moves here by Bryce, playing it deep. Armstrong, pass in front, shot, scores! Haywood.
We talked about Liberty pulling away from this game by scoring goals inside, getting away from the ball movement and the skip passing and getting that ripped shot. Both goals so far by Tobias and Haywood that have put Liberty up top are inside goals. Marakovic moves it behind. Haywood with a nice cut there, buries it low as the NC State keeper comes out. Haywood, again, a very dynamic story, a very special player, was really a star of this team last year during their tournament one, has really been demoted to an M2 since the transfers came in from Mercer and Marist in Moore and Bernardo respectively, but he still does a good job being a role player, playing defensively, and getting big goals when Coach McQuillan needs him to.
1:05 left, played ahead, Zampano. Playing it ahead, Marakovic holding on to it. Makes a couple moves, loses the ball.
And now looking to run it ahead and able to. Kramer lost it though. Marakovic trying to dig it up, gets buried outside the line. And ball here in possession of LU.
A lot of pressure coming from North Carolina State now. Under a minute now. You have to keep it inside the blue box, so milk all the time outside of it that you need.
Chad Moore running it in. He's open. Holds on to it. Penalty coming here against NC State. And that pass is picked off with the stick there of John Huey, and a a penalty coming here against NC State, which puts a pretty big damper on their hopes of tying this thing up.
Pretty smart play here by Chad Moore. There's the slash on number 17. He felt it right away, looked to the ref before he even looked to shoot, saw the flag go down. Ultimately, you don't want to rush a shot before you know that a penalty is going to be called. Turn around, thought he had the open man, but regardless, Liberty is now a man up and will have a chance to possess in these final 30 seconds.
So timeout here being called by McQuillan, as he looks to get his troops on the same page. And here for Chip Thurston, he's trying to scheme up a way to get 2 goals in 29 seconds.
Pressure defense, have to spark things in transition, do it quick. You got to win the face-off. You almost have to think 2 steps ahead here if you are Coach Chip Thurston. But as far as Coach McQuillan is concerned, this ball should be starting outside the box. 29 seconds left. You'll probably use your full 15 seconds to operate around the perimeter area, then move the ball back into an area where there is some space, and then run off the rest of the clock. No reason to take a shot. Just possess till the end. You have a 2-goal lead. This game has been exciting. You still have a long schedule ahead of you. Bernardo might be hurt. You don't want to hurt any more star players on your roster. Even if Bernardo has a stinger, you really just want to end this game cleanly with dignity and class, take the W for what it is, and then get back to doing whatever it is that was necessary to blow out teams like it did earlier in the season, like Wake Forest, Tennessee, and University of Kentucky.
Kind of curious question from my part. Teams like NC State only have like 4 games left on their schedule, but if you take a look at a team like Liberty right now, this is NC State, actually only 4 games left on their schedule as well, but it seems like Liberty plays a lot more than perhaps some other competition in the SCLC.
Yeah, that's really one of the things that makes the MCLA a little bit different. Obviously in any sport, teams could play 1 or 2 games or more, but in the MCLA, the top programs are really put out there to challenge themselves with their own schedule, with the school support and with the buy-in that Coach McQuillan has. They're able to schedule nationally. They took that big trip to Michigan. They were able to spread themselves out into different regions of the SCLC. And ultimately, their schedule is a little bit more competitive than most other teams in the conference.
Only 7 seconds remain. It looks like the Flames are going to squeak out with a big W here over NC State in the midnight game. That was quite the game there. You and I both expecting, I believe, and probably a lot of people here in the crowd as well, that this would be nowhere as close as it was.
Yeah, honestly, I expected the score to be 9-4 at halftime. You would figure that coming into the second half, Liberty would have control. They would use more of their depth, allow North Carolina State to maybe get within 7, but then really continue to add to their lead. But North Carolina State played with a lot of dignity and class tonight. They really showed up for the challenge that is the Liberty midnight game on the road. They were strong defensively. They had a great performance from Naifang and great two-way midfield play. And ultimately, Liberty just had a little bit more talent, a little bit more strength, and a little bit more sense of mind to pull out the victory.
Well, don't go to bed just yet. We'll be back with our final thoughts right after the break.
Liberty University. People try to describe it to me, but coming here was just amazing. And when you see the chancellor and president and their family is around, then you see all the other people that are around with their family members. And then you see the excitement on people's faces, the students, and getting to gathering with all the sports teams. But then we all here for the same common goal. We're here serving Christ, and Liberty University stands for that. So that's why people all come together here, again, whether it's here in person, but also on the online courses too.
Well, welcome back. The Flames win this one by a score of 9-7 and now turn their attention to Sunday, where they face off against Auburn.
Auburn, another big conference game for Liberty. Again, you're coming off of a road trip to the CCLA where you played Davenport, Michigan State, had 2 losses there, able to kind of re-find your bearings here in the midnight game against North Carolina State. Auburn's a program that's a little bit down this year, a little bit young, so this is really an opportunity for the Flames to get back to where they were when they played Wake Forest and Kentucky and Tennessee, work their depth, work their offense, refine their identity, slow things down a little bit, and let's really hope that Brett Bernardo isn't injured. We hadn't seen him since he scored that goal very early on. The transfer from Marist, his left hand, really brings an extra spark to the Liberty offense that we really didn't see late in the game.
You take a look here at the Flames. Moving ahead, or pardon me, rather, last weekend in Michigan, do you think it opened the eyes of the MCLA a little bit, the fact that they were able to compete so closely with Michigan State and Davenport?
You know, I think that the reviews are kind of mixed. I think that there were some people, especially fans of the SCLC, who wanted to see them go and potentially get a win over a Davenport team. Michigan State is red hot right now. They really are one of those teams that's ready to make the jump from being a very good MCLA team to an elite MCLA team. They beat Colorado earlier this year. But yeah, I mean, forcing a 15-14 result with them, considering the season that Brandon Schwinn and Matt Alamang and the Spartans are having, very impressive. I think that a win over Davenport could have done them some justice. Davenport's a very good team. They won a D2 national championship in Denver in 2011 and then made the jump. They're a scholarship program. You know, it was the first game of the road trip for Liberty, so the Panthers had an advantage there. But Liberty buckled down. They performed unbelievable against Michigan State despite the loss. Still trying to get their sea legs back, but, you know, they have an unbelievable opportunity against Auburn and the rest of their schedule to gear up for the SCLC tournament, where they'll be challenged by the likes of Virginia Tech, UCF, Florida State, and you're very far from counting out Liberty from winning the SCLC championship and making a return to the MCLA national tournament, this time as a Division I team, similar to the way that Grand Canyon University did, making it to the tournament in 2012 as a D2 team, coming back as a D1 team last year, upsetting Arizona State in a big home game, and then making it to the tournament. Liberty has the capability, Westminster has the capability, unbelievable things coming out of really solid Division II MCLA programs, making their mark early on in MCLA Division I.
Well, now we're going to send it down to Jake with Kurt Tobias and head coach Kyle McQuillan.
Kurt, you got that game winner. Just talk us through those last few minutes of the game, all tied up, and then you had that last shot on goal.
There was an opening, and I looked right at Bryce and had a little connection there, but wasn't anything planned. Just a good fast break. We didn't really have many of those tonight.
How difficult was this NC State team? They stuck with you guys the whole time. You pulled it out at the very end, but just what was that grueling game like for you guys?
I think we like to play at our opponent's level, and we definitely played down tonight. But it definitely was not our best game, but you know, we stuck through and got the W, so that's all that matters in the end, I guess.
And what was it like playing in front of this big crowd out here?
Oh, it's awesome. I love playing in front of all the fans. I got so many friends out there. It's awesome. Family and friends, so good.
Well, congratulations. I'm going to talk to your coach real quick.
Thank you.
Coach, it was a really tight one there to the very end. Can you talk us through those last couple of minutes of this game when it was all tied up at 7 and then you had a couple of goals at the end?
Yeah, I mean, I was always waiting for us to be able to take that lead at some point, and we wanted obviously to come out of the half with a 2-point lead and just build on that, and it didn't happen for us. And all the credit needs to go to NC State. I mean, anytime you schedule a game like this and have an event like this, to think that a team's not going to show up, you're being naive. So NC State played a great game, and the last few minutes there, we got some good looks, we got some good opportunities, we got some points, and we were playing protect. So we just wanted to get out of here with a win, and we were able to pull that off tonight.
In a tough matchup like this, what did you learn about your team today?
I mean, I think we're building character. Anytime you play a close game like this, and anytime you got to pull one kind of out of the fire there, I think it builds character and it adds to what we're trying to do here as a program. So I think there's definitely some positives to pull from it, but as a coach, you're also going to look at something like this and see all the things that you can improve on. So that's what we'll start doing early next week. We'll take a look at the film, because I know just from standing on the sidelines, there's going to be a lot of teaching points from tonight's game, which is a good opportunity for us.
And as a coach, there was some rain tonight, less than ideal, but you had a big crowd out here tonight. How big of a part did that crowd play today?
I mean, it's huge. I mean, this is the reason we have the midnight game. It's not because we like playing at midnight, but it's to try to create a game environment that's a little bit unique and get the student campus out here. And I know we were up over 4,000, which is almost triple what we had last year. So this thing's going in the right direction, and being able to play in front of that many people is a great experience for both sides. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to showcase our team, our league in the sport of lacrosse, and I think tonight we did that.
Well, congratulations on the win and the crowd as well.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we'll send it up to you guys. We'll end it from here on the turf tonight.
It is late, Jake. We understand. It totally is late. We take a look at this team here. Obviously a very talented team we've been talking about all night, but they're not in the top 25. In your opinion, you've watched a lot of lacrosse in the MCLA. What are they missing to be able to get into that, that elite group of teams?
It's a hard question to answer. I think that they should have been ranked earlier, to the extent that maybe the Davenport or the Michigan State loss might have knocked them out. But I think that they deserve to be ranked somewhere between the 19 and the 25 spot from the way that they started their season, and ultimately the pollsters just found a way to keep them out. And I think their opportunity to break into the top 25 is going to come with quality wins in the regional tournaments. Again, the SCLC is a very big conference. You don't get to play every single one of your opponents. You have to play within your region, be a top 2 team within your region just to get to the conference tournament, and then hopefully pull out that AQ, or at least get a quality at-large spot. So for Liberty, they really just need a quality out-of-conference win that I'm not sure they're going to be able to get between this point and the end of the regular season. Perhaps a quality win over a high-ranked team in the conference tournament could help them, but they're still building. Whatever politics have kept them out of the poll are unfortunate, but you build an atmosphere under the midnight game like this. I think that every team that is strong and ranked within the MCLA, whether they're on the East Coast or way out west in the desert or on the Pacific Coast, knows that Liberty's for real. And I think that moving forward in years to come, Liberty's going to have an opportunity both in the early point and the midpoint of the season to play against some of those challenging teams and ultimately put them in a place to be ranked a little bit earlier.
Now I'm going to put you on the spot here real quick, okay? Virginia Tech or Liberty coming out here of the Northwest Division?
I think Liberty has the advantage, to be honest. I think that Virginia Tech, of course, had won the entire conference in 2012 and made it to Greenville and had a tough opening round loss against BYU. But Virginia Tech's going through some growing pains. They graduated 2 of their top scorers in the last 2 years. They're in the middle of a coaching transition. So I think Liberty just has more consistency right now. And I think that Northwest Division Championship game per se between the Flames and the Hokies will certainly be a great one. But based on consistency, based on culture, based on what we've seen here tonight and what we assume the Flames will be able to learn from this experience, I really have to give the advantage to Liberty.
We'd like to thank those of you at home for staying up late and watching the game tonight. I'd like to thank Dave coming all the way down from New York to join us for this broadcast, and everybody, all the students, so on and so forth that made this broadcast possible. I'm Rhett McGibbon saying good night and God bless from Lynchburg, Virginia.